Good morning. Today we will discuss the nature's law of cure or the homeopathic law of cure, which is given in aphorism 26 of Organon of Medicine. It says, a weaker dynamic affection is permanently extinguished in the living organism by a stronger one if the latter, whilst differing in kind, is very similar to the former in its manifestations. So, how homeopathic cure take place and how we will define it? So, in this, a weaker dynamic affection, disease is also a dynamic force, and whenever a weaker dynamic affection is permanently extinguished means the complete restoration of health and permanent cure. A weaker dynamic affection is permanently cured in the living organism by a stronger one. We need a stronger dynamic force to remove a weaker dynamic affection, or we need a stronger one. If the later means the stronger one, if the stronger dynamic force, whilst differing in kind, maybe it will be a different source. That force is from a different source. It is differing in kind from the weaker dynamic affection, but it has to be very similar to the former in its manifestations. Means there are two forces, one is weaker and one is stronger, and the source of these forces may be different. Weaker is from some other source and stronger is from some other source, but the manifestations they produced, the manifestations means the signs or symptoms, you can say. For example, the signs and symptoms, both the weaker and the stronger one producing are very similar in their kind. Then only the stronger one can permanently remove the weaker one from the living organism, and hence the cure takes place. In the footnote, there were some examples like, thus are cured both physical affections and moral maladies. Any physical disease, affections, or any mental disease, any kind of disease can be cured by such process. For example, how is it that in the early dawn the brilliant Jupiter vanishes from the gaze of the beholder? By a stronger, very similar power acting on the optic nerve, the brightness of approaching day. Like there is a light from Jupiter, and on the other hand, when when the day is approaching, the sun rises, and it also throws its light. So, but the light of a Jupiter is less than the brightness of the sun. So what happens, that the brightness of sun, it will overcome the brightness of Jupiter, and the Jupiter will vanishes off from the gaze of the beholder. How? Because which is stronger? The light from the sun is very much stronger than the Jupiter, and both the light of the sun and the light from the Jupiter, both are acting on our optic nerve. That is, we are we can see through the optic nerve, we can see through the through our eyes. So they both are acting on the optic nerve, and sun is stronger. The light from the sun is much stronger than the light from the Jupiter, so it will vanish off the light from the Jupiter, and we can see when the day is approaching, we can see only the light thrown up by the sun. So in this way, the stronger will extinguish the effects of the weaker one. Now in next example is in situations replete with fetid odors, wherewith is it usual to soothe effectually the offended olfactory nerve? With snuff that affects the sense of smell in a similar but stronger manner. No music, no sugared cake, which act on the nerves of other senses, can cure this olfactory disgust. On the other hand, अगर हम एक और एग्जाम्पल ले लें, लाइक एक बहुत ज़्यादा फीटेड स्मेल है, एंड व्हेन यू यूज़ अ स्नफ, आपने बहुत ही एक सूदिंग सी स्मेल जो आपने बहुत सूदिंग स्मेल वाला कुछ ले लिया अपने पास, देन जो आपकी जो फीटेड ऑर्डर होगी, अगर आपकी जो वो सूदिंग स्मेल है, दैट इज़ दैट स्नफ का जो इफ़ेक्ट है वो बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग है, तो आपको वो जो ऑफेंसिव स्मेल है वो नहीं आएगी, एंड यू विल ओनली गेट द स्मेल ऑफ द स्नफ. So in this way, both are acting on the olfactory nerve. We can smell it through olfactory nerve. So both are acting on olfactory nerve, and the stronger one will stay, the weaker one will be vanish off. Both things are acting on the same place. Both are acting on the olfactory nerve, both are producing the same effects, both are producing some smells, and जो stronger होगी वो stay करेगी, जो weaker होगी वो vanish off हो जाएगी. On the other hand, अगर आप कोई और चीज़ ले लो, like आपको बहुत ऑफेंसिव स्मेल आ रही है, एंड देन आप बहुत तेज़ से म्यूज़िक चला लो, या आप शुगर्ड केक ले लो, this will not produce any effect on the smell. You need a thing which can produce only the similar effects, which can act on the olfactory nerve. If something is if some other thing, maybe it is stronger, but it is not acting on the same nerve or on the same place which is affected, so it won't work. अगर आप उस कुछ अच्छी स्मेल, स्ट्रॉन्ग अच्छी स्मेल की जगह अगर आप म्यूज़िक ले लो, केक खा लो, that will not affect. So it is acting on some other nerves. It is not acting on the olfactory nerve, so it won't be able to cure. The stronger one has to produce the similar manifestations. Only then it can cure the weaker one. It can remove the weaker disgust from the scenario. Next example is, how does a soldier cunningly stifle the piteous cries of him who runs the gauntlet from the ears of the compassionate bystanders? By the shrill notes of the fife commingled with the roll of the noisy drum and the distant roar of the enemy's cannon that inspires his army with fear. By the loud boom of big drum, from neither the one nor the other would the distribution of a brilliant piece of uniform nor a reprimand to the reprimand suffice. लाइक यहाँ पे एक बैटल का एग्जांपल दिया है. लाइक जो भी वॉर्स होती है उसमें जब भी कोई इंजर होगा देवर लॉट ऑफ पीटीएस क्राइज. लेकिन वहाँ पे बाई स्टैंडर्स, वहाँ पर आपने जब आप किसी के रोने की आवाज़ सुनोगे तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि दैट विल इफ़ेक्ट यू एंड इट विल मेक यू नर्वस एंड ऑल. बट वो चीज़ें, वो पीटीएस क्राइज ऑफ द इंजर्ड पीपल आप सोल्जर्स को अफेक्ट ना करे. सो उसके लिए वहाँ पर क्या है, देवर लाउड ड्रम्स, देयर वर 5 श्रिल नोट्स ऑफ 5 जो कि वो पीटीएस क्राइज को दे आर स्ट्रॉन्गर. दीज श्रिल नोट्स ऑफ द 5, दोज नॉइजी ड्रम्स, दे प्रोड्यूस स्ट्रॉन्गर नॉइज देन द पीटीएस क्राइज. सो सोल्जर्स को सिर्फ वही सुनाई देगा and it will overcome the PTS cries of the injured people and it will motivate the soldier to fight. So in this way stronger one will overcome the weaker one. And इसी तरह in like manner mourning and sorrow will be effaced from the mind by the account of another and still greater cause for sorrow happening to another, even though it be a mere fiction. अगर सैड एंड सोरोनेस का एग्जांपल लिया है इसमें, लाइक अगर किसी के फ्रेंड की डेथ हो गई बाय चांस, किसी के रिलेटिव या किसी भी फ्रेंड की डेथ होगी, ऑब्वियसली वी फील बैड, हमें बुरा लगता है, हम दुखी होते हैं, हम रोते हैं. बट इन द सेम वे अगर अपने ही किसी बहुत क्लोज पर्सन की डेथ, दैट वाज अ रिलेटिव, बट अपने ही किसी बहुत क्लोज रिलेटिव या अपने घर में कुछ ऐसा हो जाए तो क्या होगा, हम वो जो रिलेटिव या वो जो दूर का जो भी है जिससे हम बहुत ज़्यादा अफेक्टेड थे, बट हम ज़्यादा अफेक्टेड होंगे जब हमारे घर में या हमारे साथ कुछ ऐसा हो जाए. तो इट विल प्रोड्यूस स्ट्रॉन्गर इफ़ेक्ट ऑन आवर माइंड एंड इट विल वी विल बी मोर सैड. सो इट विल ओवरकम, हम वो दूर की जो चीज़ है उसको भूल जाएंगे. देन हमें क्या सिर्फ याद रहेगा व्हाट विल इफ़ेक्ट अस मोर, कि हमारे साथ क्या हुआ या हमारे घर में क्या हुआ. सो इट विल ओवरकम दैट सैडनेस और मोर्निंग ऑफ सम अदर पीपल. Like the injurious consequences of too great joy will be removed by drinking coffee, which produce an excessive joyous state of mind. Like coffee के when you take coffee you will feel more energetic, you will feel more it produces a state of exhilaration. So if you are in very much joy and if you drink coffee at that time, it will produce a more joyous state of mind and hence it will overcome the joy which you are feeling because of some other thing. So in this way every time the stronger one will overcome the weaker state, whether it is physical, whether it is mental. It will overcome, stronger one will overcome the weaker one only if they produce the similar manifestations, and only then it can permanently remove the affections which are produced by the weaker one, by the it will remove by the stronger dynamic force. Nations like the Germans, who have for centuries been gradually sinking deeper and deeper in soulless apathy and degrading serfdom, must first be trodden still deeper in the dust by the Western conqueror until their situation became intolerable. Their mean opinion of themselves was thereby overstrained and removed. They again became alive to their dignity as men, and then for the first time they raised their heads as Germans. So this is all about the aphorism 26. how homeopathy, how the medicines which produces the similar manifestations of the disease, then only this most similar one can only remove the weaker one. Weak is you have to give stronger dose than the disease. The medicine chosen should produce a slightly stronger effects than the disease, then only it can remove the disease state. Aphorism 27. There remains therefore no other mode of employing medicines in diseases that promises to be of service besides the homeopathic, by means of which we seek for the totality of the symptoms of the case of disease a medicine which among all medicines whose pathogenic effects are known from having been tested in healthy individuals has the power and tendency to produce an artificial morbid state most similar to that of the case of disease in question. So there remains only this mode of employing medicines, the mode of employing medicines on the basis of similarity in disease, that promises to be of service. The only method, the only mode of treatment is homeopathy, which promises to be of service, by means of which we seek for the totality of symptoms of the case of disease. In homeopathy, what we do, we find out the totality of the symptoms, we find out the qualitative symptoms of a given case of disease. We treat the diseased individual, we do not treat disease itself. So we find out the individualized symptoms and the totality of the symptoms of a case of disease, and a medicine which among all medicines whose pathogenic effects are known. Pathogenic effects means the disease producing effects. The disease producing effects of medicine which are known from having been tested in healthy individuals, which are known the disease producing effects, disease producing power is only known by the drug proving. When we give these medicines to the healthy individuals of both sexes, of two females, two males, of two children, two different constitutions, and when we saw the effects of those medicine in healthy individuals, and they produce the array of symptoms, and from those homeopathic remedies we select the most similar remedies which is similar to the given case, to the totality of the symptoms of a given case, which has the power and tendency to produce an artificial morbid state, which produce symptoms similar to the medicine, the homeopathic medicines which produce the symptoms similar to the disease state, most similar to that of the case of disease in question. We chose that remedy which produce the similar symptoms of the disease. That most similar remedy will be only of help, and it will only cure the given case. As this natural law of cure, this is aphorism 28, as this natural law of cure manifests itself in every pure experiment and every true observation in the world. This natural law of cure is manifesting itself in the drug provings which we which we experimented, which Dr. Hahnemann experimented and his followers experimented, and every true observation in the world. It is following the law of nature. You can observe in every aspect of the nature in the world. The fact is consequently established. It is a fact which cannot be denied. It matters little what may be scientific explanation of how it takes place. So it is very these are the observations, these are the experimentations. This is a fact which we got from our drug proving of homeopathic remedies over the healthy individuals. So it little matters the scientific explanation of how it takes place. It is taking place. It is very little matter how it takes place, and I do not attach much importance to the attempts made to explain it. So Dr. Hahnemann said it is a fact, we cannot deny it, and we can see these examples that a stronger similar force extinguish the weaker one. We have examples in the nature itself. We cannot deny it, and Dr. Hahnemann has proved this law through his experimentation over the disease, over the healthy individuals, and verify it after giving it to the disease, giving the most similar remedy to the diseased individuals. So he has many a times verified it, and he do not attach any importance to the attempts how it takes place or how to explain it. But the following view seems to commend itself as the most probable one, as it is founded on premises derived from the experience. It is his experience work. So we cannot deny it, and this is what the nature's law of cure is. In the next aphorism, aphorism 29, we will read about how does a homeopathic remedy act. We will do it in the next class. Thank you so much.